Greetings, YouTube. As I've mentioned before, my company broadcasts headline news 24/7 in our cafeteria, and that's where I sit to have my breaks. It's one of the only places I can sit down, relative decent conditions, eat, and read. Which means I am subjected to an endless series of talking heads. Now I'm just listening to them because I have my back turned to television because, like I said, I'm reading. And one of those talking heads I'm assailed by occasionally is someone known as Nancy Grace. And I can't help it, but every time I hear this woman's voice, the only word that floats through my head is the word harpy. Look it up. It's not a compliment. The other day, she was going on about some missing girl. Now, it's a tragedy that this girl was missing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying the importance of a child that's gone missing. But this woman makes her money, makes her fame. The reason she has a show is because she's a fearmonger. She sells and packages fear. Excuse me. That's all she does. Her job is to scare people into thinking that behind every bush, every tree, and inside every car, particularly every van, is a fanged, clawed pedophile waiting to snatch your child off the street and take them away forever. And this does a disservice to children who are actually kidnapped, to parents, and to the people who have actually survived sexual abuse. Because this isn't about informing people. This isn't about making sure that people understand the dangers of the world around them and so they can prepare for them. This is about making them afraid. As I've said in the past, fear is in a response to an immediate stimuli. If you're being attacked, if your house is on fire, if your car is careening over a cliff, these are all legitimate reasons to be afraid. But if you're afraid and nothing is immediately happening to you, that's called anxiety. And anxiety and the related stress will kill you. And Nancy Grace's job is to instill anxiety into her viewers. And what really stunned me the most on this particular day was that she took a call. And they take lots of calls. The talking heads on HLN News really enjoy talking to people on the phone. This woman called up and thanked Nancy for keeping her so well informed. Thanked her for making her understand how dangerous the world is. This woman called up to thank Nancy Grace for making her afraid, for instilling fear in her. That's twisted. It's warped. That's like an abuse victim, an abuse survivor thanking their abuser. It is so bizarre, I can't really begin to explain it. Why would you thank someone for scaring you pointlessly? Because the reality is, in America, approximately 200 children a year are actually legitimately kidnapped by strangers. Now that's 200 too many, don't get me wrong. No child should ever be put in that position. No parent should ever have to worry about it. But that's at a population of 330 million people. Those are some really good odds that your child will not be kidnapped by a stranger. Your child is much more likely to be put in danger by a relative of yours, by a neighbor, by a coach, a teacher, a scoutmaster. Strangers are not the biggest danger to your child. And making parents fear everyone, making children fear everyone, isn't healthy. It's not healthy for the child, it's not healthy for the parent, it isn't healthy for the American society at large. And yet this woman gets to go on television and make huge amounts of money for being sanctimonious, rude, and a fearmonger. And the American population eats it up like jam. And I don't understand. Why do they want to be scared? Why do they want someone to reinforce whatever personal prejudices they carry around inside their heads? Because your child isn't going to be kidnapped by some stranger. your child is probably going to grow up, have average experiences, and become an average, ordinary, law-abiding citizen. But if you listen to the headline news and the others, such as Fox and tabloids and such, that every child is in danger, every child is the target of someone, that we have this persecution complex, and I don't understand why. I'd like to, because I think it's a really fascinating window into the American psyche. And I keep reading about sociology and psychology and things like that in the hopes that someday I will understand. And the book of the Gift of Fear is a really good start. I quite enjoyed it. But I want Nancy Grace to go away. I don't want her to make profit off being a fearmonger any longer. Because it's not healthy for the people that view her. It isn't even healthy for the people that are even incidentally in contact with her. Her show is horrible. It does nothing but damage the American people. And I'd really love if it would go off the air.